Thank you all for being here tonight. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That is the collective read tonight. The cards that you see in front of you literally fell out of the deck and they tell a story. And not only that, I took a look at the actual deck, the way they laid out, and literally the storyline blew my mind. So I'm going to go through that, and if this resonates with you, let this be a warning. Okay? There are people jealous of you. There are people not allowing themselves to just let this situation go. Okay? They are jealous. They are envious of who the hell you are. And they are trying to create a situation of imbalance. Now, we've got the Three of Swords sitting here in a reconciliation formation. However, let's just say they haven't changed. Haven't changed one bit. If this resonates with you, this is someone that's already gone through an exponential amount of chaos with this other person. Okay, you're literally to your wit's end. You've literally left the picture. You've pretty well moved on. You are doing your best to get on with your life. However, you still feel like there's this pull or attachment to this person. And it's not even your fault. You have done everything in your power to let go. However, due to the fact that you still feel like you're attached, is on them. Okay, they have never met someone like you ever in their entire life, and you literally blew them away. So that's pretty well it in a nutshell, and let's get into it. We're sitting here with the Chariot, okay? That was the first card out of the deck, and it was with the good old Mr. Devil himself, the temptress of temptation and codependency and toxicity. Okay, this is a very toxic energy, and they're creating a position of stagnance and stuck within your reality, within your overall experience. Okay, however, they somehow feel that they've seen the light, and they're now coming in apparently wiser for gone through what they've gone through. And that's why they're coming in to reconcile. They're coming in to right the wrongs. They don't want to fight anymore. They want to put down the sword, no longer being defensive. They want to take a leap of faith. And they're saying that they're utilizing their intuition and creating a situation that, no, we are soulmates. We shouldn't let this thing go. Trying to put some sort of purpose to it. And they're coming in as if they're, that they're telling the truth. But this is a double-edged sword. It's one thing for them to say what they're going to say, but it's also in how they act. Okay? Now, when I say this, is they're going to show you the truth regardless what they say. Okay? And the proof will literally be in the pudding. Now, you've pretty well got to your point where you're healing yourself. You're standing in your conviction of unconditional love and protection and nurture and compassion and all that good energy. You're sitting in your boss, loving aspect of yourself. Okay? And you're finding the enlightenment in the past, and you have new blessings coming to you. You're finally reaping the lessons and the blessings from those lessons through the illumination and the new understanding and perspective that you have going forward, due to all this shit of the past. Okay. Now the whole thing is that they're lying. They're coming in like they're, you know, they're coming in like they love themselves again. Okay, and they've learned their lessons, and they've learned all what, you know, they're trying to validate who you are through the supposed truth. Okay, so it's a lot of there's still a lot of deception here. Okay, and it's due to the fact of the Knight of Cups being upside down. This is about not loving yourself. This is about not thinking of yourself. This is about being selfish, or like selfless, and just not caring about these cups that are dumped over. They're not caring about your own values and what you stand for. Like it's making no they're not taking accountability either for themselves, for what they've done. So it's like they just want to kind of sweep it under the rug or pull the wool over your eyes, in a sense, even with the Ace of Swords sitting here. You know, that's truth coming through. You know, but it's an illusion. Okay, it's an illusion because it's unfollowed in with the Devil card. So all these have some sort of a toxic overlay to these cards due to this Devil being the fact that it's toxic. Okay, so there's ulterior motives happening over this reading. Okay, and the whole aspect of taking a leap of faith and trusting in the divine is meant to catch you off guard. The fact that they want to reconcile and they want to make things right, and there's in some sort of way, they're feeling remorse of the way they treated you due to the toxicity. But they coming back, they haven't changed. They haven't changed one bit. Okay? No change whatsoever. But they're coming in like they did. Okay? And they made their judgment call, and they created a situation of honorability in their actions, thinking that was the best course of action, you know, by wanting to try and reconcile. But they haven't changed. Now, this is where it gets deep. The Judgment, and we've also got the Justice that fell out right after it. So with it in conjunction, the divine has stepped in and orchestrated a banishment of this connection. Okay? Because overall, the whole reading's coming in like they're just trying to come in and reconcile because they want to finish the job. They want to be able to have a chance to finish what they started at the beginning of all the shenanigans when they came in initially. So, you're stuck. They're stuck. And it's due to the Justice coming out. Because everything that they put you through, they are now going through. Okay? The Divine Hammer has had its smackdown. Judgment has been called, justice will prevail, and it is prevailing as this reading is being stated. Okay? That's your confirmation. Now, because they created a situation where you are stuck, now they are having to be in their head. They're having to be bound by their actions. They have to be bound by their thoughts of what they've done to you. And literally, spirit and karma is haunting them. Okay? Literally haunting them. And this is where it comes out. They're coming out cutthroat. They're coming out in a sense that they're lying to you. Okay? This queen is a very evil queen. She uses her words, her word magic. She uses her communication as her sword. Okay? And that's how she gets a rise out of people. That's how she manipulates people. Now she's trying to create a chaos in your life. And this is out of jealousy. This is out of envy of who you have become due to the past and due to the fact that you've been fighting for your life. And that's why the divine has been called on you. Okay? The divine has been called to step in. Due to this chaos. Here you are. All you were trying to do is do something right. You're being compassionate. You were being loving. You were being kind. You were trying to do things right. You were trying to do things in a manner of integrity. Okay? And you were open to the balance of whatever you needed to do to be there, you were there. So if you needed to take on a more direct role, whether it would be on call or on hand, you were there. If you were meant to stay at home and be a, an at-home, housemaker or a homemaker, you were there. You were there, ready and willing to put the work in to create a happy home, a happy stability. Okay? You also had the ability to create a stability and an abundance within it. And you wanted to be a part of the investment. Okay, you just didn't, you didn't feel like you wanted to just be a trophy sitting on a shelf. With totally pointless other than to collect dust and to be there whenever they wanted you to be there. Okay, you were coming in to be a part of, you were coming in to support, you were coming in to create a team effort. And all these choices, all these illusions, and all these ideas were put on the table by this other person to create an illusion. The only option on this card that was actually viable for you at that time was to choose yourself. But instead, you got distracted by all this other mayhem and all this other illusion to try and create a situation of validity and purpose and emotional fulfillment. But every cup that you went to, every cup that you tried, it felt empty. It was an illusion. And anything that you were gravitated towards became chaotic. You were gaslit. You were projected upon. You were mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically, sexually abused. You were literally abused in every single way. To the point you were in pieces. The Five of Swords, right side up, is talking about winning at all costs. But you literally lost yourself. You literally lost who you were as a person. Due to everything that you've went through within this scenario and this situation, to try to be of purpose, to try to be of a stability, to be part of the team, and you were basically put on the sidelines as a towel boy or a garbage girl or whatever the case may be. You were disregarded, you were unconsidered. Don't judge a book by its cover. Do not judge a book by its cover. This is what they had. They literally had an empress before them. This is one of the most powerful cards in the deck, besides the High Priestess. You are literally an empress, and you were made to feel so small and put in a box that you were never meant to be in. Anything you were good at became worthless to them. Anything that you tried to work on was literally destroyed. Anything you completed was looked down upon and ripped apart every chance that they had. All the inspiration that you had within you was ripped out of you. It was literally drained. Everything that you brought to the table became worthless because it was never good enough. And you actually questioned, what is the whole purpose of me being here if I'm absolutely worthless? If I absolutely have nothing left to offer? I've offered all I can and it's still not good enough. And it's mainly because they wanted all your hard work to go down the drain. This is your confirmation. They were literally trying to ruin your life. Anything that pissed you off, they capitalized on it to trigger you into reactive abuse. Everything that you yearned for, everything you desired was used against you and held over your head. All to rip you apart into pieces. You're literally dealing with a conniving, absolute conniving shit. Someone that likes to lie and spread rumors and hate campaigns against you due to jealousy and envy is the fact that they can't even meet you halfway in comparison to your talents. Everything they touch turns to shit. Everything you touch turns to gold. Of course they're going to be jealous of that. Of course they're going to take you down because of that. Of course they're going to try and ruin that and take you off the pedestal that you built for yourself, thinking that you don't deserve to be on it. Considering all the hard work that you put into your life. It wasn't even just in this situation overall. It was your life. It's your life's work. And they ripped that away from you. You moved away. You fought your life. You have aspirations within you. You have a light within you. You have a nurturing essence about you. And you started to call your power back. You started to step into your own stability, creating your own foundation. You worked in silence. You ended up having to mask up in order to provide a front in order to go through this healing. It was literally the only way that you could step up and get yourself out of this mess. You literally had to become the monster. But the question was, would you turn into the monster? And the Nine of Pentacles says that you were intentionally testing yourself and confirming to yourself of what you were actually made of, and the ability to think of your own independent stability and prosperity, you began to glow. Your light began to shine a little brighter day after day after day. You created a stability that was insurmountably indestructible. With a Teflon coating. Literally anything they did to try to take you away from this was literally sent back to them automatically. Then they came in with passion, very vindictive, mentally draining, created an imbalance, made you question yourself, question your foundation of what you were building. And then because they knew that you were building a strong foundation and they couldn't change you or manipulate you any further, they left you out in the cold. They literally left you for dead. And Spirit's saying this is right around the anniversary as to when that happened. Just before the holiday season. You surrendered. You're saying, I don't like this, I don't want this, and you are literally creating a situation where you were calling on the divine to give you a sign, and the divine delivered in ways that literally created a miracle over the holiday. It gave you a new lease and perspective on the holiday, and it showed you the magic of the holidays and the true meaning of that holiday through this divine gift that you are not alone. Anything you ask for, you shall receive, as long as it is within good intent and sincere. And then you remembered who you are. You remembered that you were made of magic. You remembered that you were here for a reason. You remembered. You remembered what it was meant to have purpose again. Took the blindfold off. Took the rose-colored glasses off and realized the only one that was trapping you in was yourself. Although there was a lot of covert manipulation, you literally freed yourself. You played your cards quiet. You didn't show your hand. You held your aces. You worked in silence. You created a plan of exit and you executed it eloquently. The Six of Pentacles, this is partially of being left out in the cold. Because not only did they leave you out in the cold, they tried to take the ability of self-sustainment away from you. And this is where it started to kick in as to what you are actually dealing with this manipulative King of Swords, the King of Wands. They literally sabotaged your work. They sabotaged your ability to take care of yourself and pay your bills and feed you and house you. They did everything in their power emotionally to wreck your stability. They showed lies and more illusion, more deception. You had no choice but to bring out the big guns. You had no choice but to come out and start manifesting your reality the way you wanted it. You had no choice. He left you with no other choice but to use the energies around you to manifest the life that you've always dreamed. And to fight for it. To dig deep into who you are as a master manifester of your own reality. A dream caster to reality. This is you in your glow up. This is you standing in your authenticity. You protected yourself. You created a situation where you feel that you were finally taking a moment of respite. Remembering who you are. Using your intuition to guide you. Letting the divine guide you. Due to the fact of the illusions and the confusion, you were unable to make a decision. You were unable to come to a truce because there was no communication. There was just deflection. There was lies. There was deceit. An illusion. The wool was pulled over your eyes to the truth. But because normally that would have been, but because you listened to your intuition and you trusted in that, you trusted in the divine, they were unable to deceive you. They wanted you in this element of bitterness and instability. They tried so unbelievably hard to do that. They wanted to leave you in the Five of Cups. They wanted to leave you with nothing, to make sure you were homeless. They wanted to take the strength from you. They wanted it all for themselves. But because you gave yourself to the divine, you surrendered to the divine. You started balancing things out. You started working in silence. You started creating bounty for yourself, a new stability. Although you didn't necessarily like what you're having to do, you're very frugal. You're finally thinking of yourself. Where before, you didn't think of yourself, you thought of everyone else before you. You started to love yourself again. And you healed. You healed from the past. And not only the past situation, but you healed from your past wounds, your childhood wounds. And you celebrated the ability to let go and to rise and to ascend You found other people just like you. And you found out that you weren't alone after all. You found out that you actually had people around you that were going through the exact same thing. You realized you needed to move on, finally. You needed to let go, finally. You were okay on your own. You're okay to take the lessons. You gave yourself the idea that it'll happen in time. The attachment, it stayed, and it created an imbalance within you. You didn't know where this was coming from. You thought it was you. But this whole situation that you were letting go of and trying to release after healing it, it seemed like it was latched onto you. You couldn't somehow let it go. There was just something about it that you just couldn't release. And it was due to this. It was due to your Ten of Pentacles. It was due to the fact of your glow up, of you standing in your power, remembering who the hell you are. This is part of your glow up. This is part of who you're becoming, who you're realizing your truth, the ability that you are made of magic and that you can literally have, do, be anything that you want in your life. So they wanted to dip their hand in your Ten of Pentacles. They wanted a piece of this after trying to ruin you. They wanted to be a part of that inheritance. They wanted to count themselves into that inheritance. This was a divine inheritance. It's not something that they can cash in on. And because you wouldn't allow them to take part in this inheritance, all they did is to try to create chaos. More chaos. Here you are, getting your Ten of Pentacles, finally moving on with your life. This very well could have been a new job. They did everything in their power to sabotage that. They didn't want you getting the recognition you deserved. They didn't want to let people see you for who you actually are. They wanted you to play small. They wanted you in this little box of comfort that they feel more comfortable for you to be in. They didn't want as a character in your own destiny and in your own life. They were trying to hold you back. Giving you no choice but to fight for your life. Giving you no choice but to retreat into solitude and isolation. Not allowing you to make a move, not allowing you to make a decision, not allowing you to think something through for yourself due to that chaos, due to the uncertainty, due to the fact that they were making you question everything. They wanted you stuck, demobilized, on your knees, begging, unable to make a move. They wanted you to submit to them, all so they could feel superior to you. They did everything that they could. Mentally, psychologically, And they're very, very cunning, very charming. And their words and their thoughts and their actions cut like a knife and made you question your absolute reality as to whether or not it was actually happening. This is your confirmation. This is your realization. You are not crazy. This did happen to you. And yes, it should be illegal. They wanted you to literally lose everything. They wanted you to the point where you couldn't hold on to anything anymore. You literally had no choice but to drop everything and have nothing. They didn't want you to move away. They didn't want you to try to find refuge. They didn't want you to learn from all these mistakes. And they sure as hell didn't want you to fight for yourself. They didn't want you to stick up for yourself and save you. They wanted to be the victor. They wanted to be the hero after ripping you apart. But you said no. You took your power back. You played your cards right. You remembered who the hell you are. And you knew that you're made of magic. And he wanted you to be silent. So you decided to say, screw this. I'm going to tell my story to the world. And it will help me heal. And it will help me bring justice to my situation. Because I'm going to come out with the truth and nothing less. I will tell my story, and I will close this cycle off, and I will rid myself of this negative succubus. Coming in like a Mr. King that has a business. Meanwhile, all the employees found out all they were puppets. He wanted to go in with the name and sit there and bark orders to everyone and not take accountability for anything. But this king likes people working for them. This king likes to take advantage of people and extort them and create situations where they have no choice but to be slaves to these people. They feel superior to anyone. This is the epitome of my psychopathic nightmare. A psychopathic narcissist. Again, you were always made of magic. You always knew what was important. You always knew what was meant to be deep in your heart. And the divine did not let you down. You became aware of the love within yourself and the divine love given to you and blessed by Spirit. It strengthened you. It created you into a stronghold of wisdom, love, compassion, and respect. You stopped abandoning yourself, and instead you committed to your well-being. You focused on becoming your best self and utilizing dedication and commitment and connection with Spirit to guide you. He didn't like that. dealing with this, the fact that it was destruction of your world, is very difficult to come back from. But by the grace, you were set to be dead. And the divine said no. And instead, the divine brought you into your power. The divine brought you into your element, into your purpose, into who you actually are. Didn't matter what he threw at you. Didn't matter what he thought. Very immature, conniver, someone that likes to steal, someone that likes to create situations of illusion for his own gain. So this person very well could be scamming you under a profile. Be careful of the offers brought out to you. Being that this is a timeless reading, it very well could be happening at any time. Be careful underneath the intentions of offers being given to you. Because the offers are showing up to be empty and filled with manipulation and stagnance and instability. You need to focus on you. You need to focus on the nurturing of your heart, healing your heart, and working from the heart space. Finding the balance within yourself, the masculine and feminine aspect of yourself, the warrior and protector, and the healer and the nurturer, to create a one soul in balance. He hasn't changed. This conniving entity has many different masks, has many different illusions and deceptions that they bring forward in order to try to persuade you. But due to this whole situation, you've become enlightened. You can smell it from a mile away now. In the first couple words out of their mouth, you automatically know the intention due to your intuition. Literally putting him in a position of awareness that what he lost was literally the best he ever had. And the fact that you are putting up walls, you are putting up requirements, you are putting up restrictions, you're blocking them out. And just now, after all these months of manipulation, they're finally getting their justice. After all they dished out to you, they're finally getting their justice. And they're literally seeing the whole picture come into play. They're seeing what it feels like to be left out in the cold. They're seeing what it feels like to be feeling like they've been used. They're seeing what it feels like to be discarded and projected upon and lied to and marked out as insignificant. They're literally getting their own medicine of what they bestowed upon you. Meanwhile, you're coming out of the tower. You're coming out of a position of lack and of depletion. You're standing strong again. You've learned your lessons. You've gotten your blessings from learning your lessons, and they're far behind you now. They can't even reach you, even if they tried. This is the joys of being in a higher vibration, because those low-vibing people can't even touch you. That is literally the only way you win against it, is to live your best life and to rise above it. Stand in your boss attitude, standing up for yourself, creating a situation of passion, utilizing your intuition, seeing 10, 15 steps ahead to this bullshit. Realizing you're more powerful than you ever realized before. It's literally blowing your mind. And it's giving you the courage to stand in your boss energy. Take no shit energy. Yet you're compassionate. Finally letting go. Letting go and letting God. Letting karma. Letting the divine dish out what is so necessary. To dish it out so that way it is dealt with once and for all. No longer in your head. Realizing that you are in a better place now than you ever have been. And understanding that they may think that they want to take credit for that, but you did this all yourself. You literally did this all yourself. They do not get credit for bringing you back together and putting you back together because they were nowhere to be found at that stage. Literally. You've got nothing but blessings. Literally nothing but blessings. Cycles are closing. Divinely. There is no choice in the matter. If you go back to this, if you turn around and look back and you go back into this mess, these blessings will be forfeited. These divine blessings will be forfeited. You will not receive these blessings. They cannot go where these blessings are. They have no rights and no energy to be in the position of being where these blessings are located. It's like you're going on a trip that requires you to have a certain passport that they can't receive unless they go through the work, unless they go through their healing, and to which they are not willing to go through. The first part of this spread of this reading was the aftermath of the said situation of you trying to be accountable. You were trying to be supportive. You were trying to be in a position of awareness for this person to heal together. But it wasn't the case. They didn't see where they were the problem. All they seen is where the overall aspect of this relationship could bring them. You were just a commodity. You were a supply. They didn't take you seriously. They didn't take you as a possible lover. Not only do you have blessings coming in, but the divine is so pissed off that you were praying In the beginning, before this relationship, you were praying to the divine and the divine heard you. You were praying for that special union. You were praying for that special person to come into your life. The divine is answering you. There's an understanding here that you were brought into this person's life as a monkey to the divine, as a servant to the divine, in order to receive these blessings, in order to receive this union, is a great sacrifice that you made. And you collaborated with the divine, and not only learned to love yourself, but you became a soldier of karma for this other person. To this Page of Wands, immature energy, immature passion, very wishy-washy. Didn't know what the hell they wanted, but they were driven by their how can I say this? Poor judgment. You're moving away. You're sticking up for yourself and your truth, and you're putting your foot down. And everything that you've ever worked for, and everything that you've ever wished for, is finally coming to you. It's finally here. It has literally just arrived. Be patient. The ship has docked. Now it's just the tie-up and the unloading of the rest of your life, and a dream come true, and a happy ever after. I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully it kept you on the edge of your seat. If this reading has resonated with you tonight, it would be greatly appreciated if you could hit the like button. If you'd like to share this message with someone that might benefit, it would be greatly appreciated. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do so through the description box or my profile information on the community tab. I thank you ever so much for your support, for your love, for your friendship, the subscribes, the donations, the super chats, the super thanks. I do appreciate you all. Thank you ever so much for being here and being part of the tribe. I'm going to ask the cards. What's on that ship? What blessings are coming forward? What blessings are coming forward? I can't make this up. The divine union and literally love within self. You gave your heart, gave your soul to this person. You literally gave your all. It was not all for nothing. This turned you into a warrior. This helped you realize the truth. This created an ability to receive wisdom that cannot be bought. You cannot read it in a book. It's by experience. Find the silver lining in your pain. Find the lesson in your pain. Within that lesson, there will always be a blessing. I think that puts it into perspective. What do we got on the top? Okay. They're coming together with another offer. Another stupid offer. Thinking that time has come by, things have cooled down, everything is fine now. Stand in your power. This is your kingdom now. This isn't their kingdom. This is your kingdom. Never forget who you are. Never allow them to, or anyone, to allow you to downplay, to think small, or create a situation of lack in your life. Stand in your truth. Stand in your emperor status. Be nurturing, be loving, be kind, be truthful. There is no looking back. You've walked through that door into your new beginning. Do not stop go. Do not collect $200, because where you're going, the $200 will be irrelevant. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Thank you and have a beautiful night. This reading was for entertainment and enlightenment purposes only. If it resonated, great. If it didn't, it wasn't for you. Thank you for the support and thank you for watching. See you in the next live. Have a beautiful night and thank you again for all of your support.